Most people love meat, and thanks to advanced animal agriculture and factory farming, you can enjoy it almost every day. It's wholesome, delicious, and humane. At least, that's what the business wants you to believe. But in that case, why is the animal agriculture business trying to conceal its farms? Why is there a law in some places that makes it a crime to show what's inside? Known as ag, these laws are designed to silence activists, revealing the ruthless animal abuses on industrial farms. These laws make it a crime to take pictures and/or video at a factory farm with the intent to cause defamation. This begs the question, what is going on in factory farms that makes the business terrified of even showing us what's inside? Today, we'll be unsilencing the truth about how your meat is made and what exactly the animal agriculture business is attempting to hide. Meat, dairy, and eggs derive from live animals, but not from this kind of environment. Instead, animals are grown in concentrated animal feeding operations, also known as factory farms and CAFOs. The factory farming industry strives to maximize output while minimizing costs, always at the animal's expense. The giant corporations that run most factory farms have found that they can generate more cash by squeezing as many animals as possible into tiny spaces, even though many of the animals die from disease or infection. Pigs, for example, endure unrelenting abuse from the day they are born. Male piglets shriek in pain as their testicles are violently ripped out and their sensitive tails cut off without painkillers. Mother pigs are confined to small, filthy gestation crates. Constricted by metal bars on all sides, they cannot lie down, move, or even turn for nearly their entire lives. Cows exploited for dairy are treated merely like milk-producing machines, constantly cycling through pregnancy, birth, and milking, until either their bodies give out or their milk production is no longer profitable. Calves used for veal are ripped away from their mother and locked in crates. They are fed a low-iron milk substitute that makes them anemic. By the time of slaughter, many calves are too weak to walk. In terms of chickens, walk into one of the dystopian, dimly lit factory farms where most US broilers are raised, and you'll likely see tens of thousands of obese, overweight birds barely moving, sitting on the floor in their own waste. These chickens are bred to grow so fast that they frequently cannot even walk without pain. The ammonia from the decomposing bodies and waste causes severe skin and throat irritation, blindness, and fatal respiratory problems. The environment is so bizarre that many chickens resort to cannibalism and peck each other to death. But despite these cruel conditions, increasing profits takes a lot more than just saving space, which is why in order to utilize some of the waste created by these animals and to cut the prices for supplying them, CAFOs feed the animals a mixture of rotten meat from the same species, diseased animal corpses, feathers, dried blood, animal feces, plastic, drugs, and unhealthy amounts of grain. Worst of all of this later makes its way to the ignorant humans who consume these animals' meat. Furthermore, CAFOs don't want to drain cash, which is why they will exterminate absolutely any animal from which they don't see a justifiable profit. Because male chicks cannot lay eggs, they are deemed useless by the egg industry, which is why in a process known as chick killing, one-day-old male chicks are placed on a conveyor belt and shredded alive. It is estimated that about 7 billion male chicks die this way every single year. In a process known as thumping, piglets who are deemed too sick or small are killed by being slammed headfirst onto concrete floors. It is a brutal act to watch, and it's even more difficult to watch the aftermath. many piglets don't die immediately. Undercover footage shows piglets conscious and looking, moving and convulsing, dying a slow, painful death. The only chance these animals will ever see and feel the warmth of the sun is on their trip to the slaughterhouse, which is where they will be transformed into the meat on your dish. After growing to the desired market weight, animals from cows are shoved into trucks and driven vast distances without any food or water. These animals can feel, and they feel fear. There have even been cases of pigs jumping from moving trucks on highways while trying to escape their inevitable fate. Because slaughterhouse workers are working towards the most efficient workplace possible, they adopt vicious ways of speeding things up. And when you're dealing with thousands of cows or pigs that all must be slaughtered hastily, the last thing they want is a sluggish animal slowing things down. From being hung upside down and shot in the face, to animals being dismembered while fully conscious, the range of cruelty existing in slaughterhouses is vast and evil beyond imagination. Slaughterhouse workers even use stun guns to shock and beat their animals into submission. If a cow is walking too slowly or a pig tries to run away, the workers will shock the animal into obedience. Here are just some of the descriptions of what was shown in undercover footage from numerous slaughterhouses. If you don't believe what was said, the links for all the evidence is provided in the description. The footage of all this is so gruesome and horrific that almost nobody will even bear watching it. Tragically, this is the reality for over 72 billion animals massacred every single year. Even in the mythical case of humane meat, animals are still subject to immense suffering, abuse, and torture. Labels that sound appealing, such as cage-free, free-range, grass-fed, organic, and natural, are nothing more than marketing and lies. The only concerns these corporations have is profit, which is why they will do absolutely anything to spark the illusion that you are buying something wholesome, humane, or natural. In conclusion, every single time you buy meat or animal products from a large corporation, you are directly supporting the industry that commits all these horrors. And thanks to your support, they thrive. Stay tuned for part 2. Thank you.